Let's take a look.
Greetings and welcome to a different type of video. I've never made a video like this before, but I'm very excited for Bedman? Question mark? And I kind of just want to go over the trailer, look to see what normals he's got, kind of break it down a little bit and theorycraft a little bit about what mechanic he's going to have, because I do have a fairly good idea what he's going to have, I think, but there's a little bit going on there that I'm not entirely sure about, and it's kind of awesome and I just want to talk about it. But with that being said, let's get into the video. I will play the trailer through once without me talking over it, so if you haven't seen it you can watch it here, but after that I'm going to go through it slowly and kind of break everything down from what I see and just talk about it a little bit.
Meaning. Brother left me a meaning?
I see the circle. Ways to ruin my head.
You can't stop it, so move. Would you mind leaving me alone? Something is wrong. I've never seen it act like this before. Brother's program shouldn't run haywire like that. Dad, run away! Don't break it! Don't leave me. Oh. Fine. Only today. It's dangerous. Brother. I never wanted that. This is just an ordinary dream. Sleep well.
Okay, let's get into this. First and foremost, I haven't played Bedman in any other game. Strive is my first Guilty Gear game, so I'm not super familiar with the character, but let's give this a try. And I'm only playing this because that theme slaps so hard, I can't wait for it. That's not how it even sounds, but I just really like this theme, it is really good. Right, but I'll go slowly from here on out and just have a look at some of the stuff. Right. If you hear my keyboard in the background, I apologize about that, but I'm just pressing buttons right now. Right, let's have a look. Right, so he seems, well, first and foremost, he's massive, so I'm fairly certain he's going to be like a big buddy, like Potemkin and Go Lewis, and potentially he's going to have a slower jump startup, and some combos aren't going to work on him because of that. So, interesting. I'm not used to playing big bodies, but I'll definitely give it a shot. This move here looks like a far S. Pretty damn good range on that far S, assuming, of course, it goes right to the end of the tip here. That's pretty damn long. Really nice. I like how Delilah just kind of cowers underneath it. I really like the animations Delilah has in this trailer. Super cool. Right, this looks like a jump S. Yep, and he picks up Delilah when he jumps, which is kind of awesome. Right, there's an air dash. That looks like a... let's have a look. Is that his jump here? Yeah, that's his jump here. Let's have a look. Keep playing. And that is his Task C, I believe. In previous Guilty Gear games, that was a special move, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so like a big bed slam. I'm not entirely sure if that is actually going to be a special move in this game, or if it's going to be a normal. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I can have a look quickly. I think Potemkin's jump D is also the same. Potemkin. Yeah, I think Potemkin's jump D is also like a big slam, so maybe that is... yeah, it is. So maybe this could be her... sorry, not Delilah, Bedman. Bedman? Gotta put the question mark in that. This could be a jump D. Sorry, not a special. We'll keep moving forward though. See if there's anything else. Okay, right, so that's an air dash. His omnidirectional air dash seems to be making a return. If you don't know what an omnidirectional air dash is, it's basically you can air dash in any direction you want. So if you look, he's dashing downwards. This was a key mobility option, I believe, in his kit in the previous game. It allowed for all kinds of dodgy mix-ups, and it is returning here, which is kind of cool. Looking forward to seeing how that works in this game. 6p in Guilty Gear Strive is very, very, very strong. So I'm not entirely sure how this air dash is going to work. It could be fantastic, but it could also be a really, really big weakness depending on how it works around 6p. As you know, I've been playing Testament for the past 2-ish months, and an air dash like this might just be completely crap against someone like Testament who has a very strong 6p, but we'll have to wait and see about that. Right, throw animation. So cool. Puts him on the bed. Electrify shock. Fairly certain that's a throw. I don't think it's a command grab. Would be kind of cool if he had a command grab. I don't think he had a command grab in previous games, but I'm fairly certain that's just a throw. Right, projectile. Air to ground projectile, like Testament's HS Grave Reaper. Really nice. And then a ground-to-ground projectile, like S Reaper. Also cool. I like projectiles, so that's going to be really awesome. This is the mechanic I'm thinking of here. So if we look at it at the start, there's no shock state. I'm going to call it the overcharge state for now. I don't think it's a state, so to speak, but it's kind of a... I'll talk more about it in a moment, but it's not there right now. You shoot the projectile and then it appears, sorry. So I think doing special moves will charge a gauge, like build a gauge, and once you build the gauge enough, you'll enter into this overcharge state. Think of it like Nagoriyuki's blood gauge, where he does specials and it builds the gauge, and if he fills it, he blood rages and pops. I think this is going to work similar to that, where you do specials and you build the gauge, but instead of popping when it gets to max, when the gauge is full, you gain access to new special moves once it's hit a certain amount. You shoot another projectile and then you do this one. And that seems to take away the shock state. So that's what I think this mechanic is. You do special moves to build up your overcharge. I keep switching between overcharge and shock state, but let's just call it shock state because I'm going to keep saying that one. So you use special moves to build your shock state, and then once your shock state is built, you can spend it on very powerful special moves. This special move in particular catches air dash, but if you look at the size of that hurt box, it might actually catch grounded opponents as well. So it might be like, when you're in shock state, you get access to extremely strong special moves that are only available when you're in shock state, but they're one-time uses until you rebuild shock state again. When I first saw this, I thought it was attached to Delilah in some way, but it doesn't seem to. When I first saw it, I actually thought the projectile came out of Delilah, but it doesn't seem to be that way. Delilah just seems to follow Bedman around. She doesn't really seem to affect his moveset in any way that I've seen so far. Right, closest maybe? 2p? 5p? That looks like 5p. Yeah, so that's a 5p, I presume. That's a 2p. Pretty good range on the 2p. Right, this one's a bit weird, right? Because, is he in shock state before? Right, he's in shock state there. Right, so I think it's 2p, 5p, 6p, maybe? I don't know. I don't think that's 6H because there's another move later on in the trailer that looks like a 6H. It doesn't look like a 6K. 6Ks are kick attacks, and that definitely does not look like a kick attack. Maybe a 6S, I'm not sure, but I'm going with 6P at the minute. And then we get the special move here. that shoots the head off. Shock State is consumed once again, and then it explodes. This projectile reminds me quite a bit of like Bomb from Faust, but with a much shorter detonate time. I wonder if this explosion will hit Bedman. Bedman did backdash, one sec, let's have a look. He did do a backdash after throwing off the head, so he moved himself outside of the explosion range. So it might hit him, I'm not entirely sure. Also, this move seems to have very little recovery in terms of, you know, like, recovery frames. That was a really stupid way to put that, but yeah, it seems to recover very quickly, so this might be like a pressure tool, a mix-up tool, possibly. Not entirely sure. But it's a bomb, and I like bombs, so I'm very excited to see what kind of shenanigans you can get from this. Okay, I have no clue what this is. I think this could be a 2H. It's either a 2H or it's a special. I don't think he has any moves in his previous version that are similar to this. No. What's his 2H like in the previous game? One sec, let me have a look. It's definitely not that, no. Right, so I think this might be his replacement for the 2H. I really like the look of it though, I think it looks super cool, but it could be a special, I'm not entirely certain on that. No, it's absolutely not special because he does a special cancel after, right? So that must be 2H, I'm going to assume. And then he goes into, I believe this is Task B? Yeah, Task B. So this is a returning special move from the previous version. Reminds me a lot of Faust's Mix. A lot of similarities here to Faust, and I love Faust, so I'm probably going to love this character too. And yeah, this just confirms for me that special moves build this shock state, or overcharge state, whatever you want to call it, because it doesn't appear to exist on Bedman right now. He does the special move, and now you can see the blue little shock stuff on him. Yep, see the blue little shocks? So, yeah, this looks like special moves build the shock state, overcharge state, whatever you want to call it. One sec, was there anything else there after the special, or was I just, yibba-yabbering on a bit? No, that's just the end of the special, and the shock state's still there, so, yeah. She smiled! Right, this, I believe, is his jump H. Yeah, so the jump H is definitely returned. And then he does the omnidirectional dash again, so he does the jump H into a diagonal upwards air dash into a jump P. Good range on the jump P as well. That looks like a 2K, I'm going to assume. Looks low hitting. Really interesting looking 2K. I wonder if all of those spikes are hitboxes. Funky looking. Once again though, it's kind of like Faust, he looks like he has a really dodgy 2P, not 2P, 2K, so I'm really liking the look of it. Right, this right here, I believe is his 6H. Big overhead slam. Yeah, 6H into a new special. This isn't in previous games, don't know what this is, but it's a big bonk. And then after that special, once again, if you take a very close look, you see blue shock state on Bedman just at the end there. One sec. Blue shock state, so once again the special applies the shock state. I don't know if it's a single special applies shock state and then you can do like a super special, or if it's two specials, like one special to apply the shock state and then another special to activate it. You know, like to build it to full and then the special activates after. You get access to it then. Not entirely sure. Jump. Right, down air dash into... What's that? Jump S? Was that the same one I saw before, or is that a jump H? Not entirely sure. One sec. Oh no, we've already seen the jump H. That is definitely the jump S. Yep, I remember now. Memory of a goldfish. 2K again. 2D. The range on this 2D looks big. That looks like a very long range 2D. I like that a lot. and super. Not much to say about that really, just looks like a really cool super. Short range though, I think it's going to be like Saul's super, whatever it's called, you know, the wall break one he uses a lot. Right, that is definitely a close S. 2S. 5H? Yeah, that's what I'm going with those. And then Delilah just cowering under the buttons. I love Delilah's animations during the Bedman attack animations, it's really cool. Close S, and then she ducks. 2S. 5H, yeah. And then big laser beam super. I wonder if any of these supers are invincible. Not entirely sure. That's actually really cool. That might be the thumbnail. That looks super cool. But yeah, that's just about it. His deja vu mechanic doesn't seem to be returning at all from what I can see from the trailer, but he does seem to have a new mechanic to replace it. Whatever you want to call it. Shock state, overcharge state. He builds it by doing special moves, and then once he's built it enough, he can consume the gauge to do a very powerful special of some type. That's only available when he has the gauge built enough. You can't do it without it. Which is kind of like Nargo, but in reverse. Nargo builds his gauge doing specials, and he has to reset the gauge to gain access to his special to special cancels. Bedman is the opposite, where he has to build the gauge to gain access to his mechanic first, and then once it's built he can do the mechanic, and then it resets the gauge, and then he has to build it again to do it again. So it functions more like a tension gauge, I guess, if you put it that way. But it's interesting. I'm definitely looking forward to this character. I can't wait for the gameplay trailer to actually break down how this actually works. This is just me theory crafting off the top of my head. But super cool character. I'm so looking forward to them. I haven't been this excited for a character since, honestly, the launch of Strive. When I first saw the Faust trailer, it was Faust's gameplay trailer that made me buy this game, and I haven't been this excited since I saw that, so I'm super happy with this character, even though I don't really know much about them yet. But with that being said, I'll bring this video to an end. I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching. And if you have your own ideas or theories about what you think is going on in this trailer with Bedman, gotta put the question mark in there. Leave it in the comments, let me know. I'm interested to hear your thoughts and opinions on what you think this character is going to be like, and yeah, thanks for watching.